Chair and Honorable Minister, my name is Nathan Vyanyuma, Okanga North, in the Sinjiro District, and I'm a member of this committee. And you are most welcome, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chair, honorable colleagues, our elder honorable minister. I'm Romlicha Ivanda Gerard, Member of Parliament for Ntoroko County in Ntoroko District, and a member of this committee. Thank you.
My name is Jonathan Ebwalo, Member of Parliament, Soroti City West.
Thank you, Chair. Our General, my name is Nsegumire Chibedi Mohammed, Member of Parliament representing Mityana North constituency, a member of this committee.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Chizak Robert Moses, MP Ugendera in Bundibujo, and a member of this committee. I thank you.
Thank you, Chair, colleagues, General. I'm Tembo Gideon Mujungu. I represent the people of Songora South. General, you're welcome.
My name is Kayondo Fred, Member of Parliament, Mukono South Constituency, Mukono District.
Asaba Paul, Member of Parliament, Chaka North in Chegegwa District, member of this committee.
Henry Morris Chibalia, Bugabula South, Kamuli District. The woman MP is the Right Honorable Litwala Rebecca Kadaga, the friend to the General.
Thank you very much. General, introduce yourself.
My name is Otafiiire, Member of Parliament Ruhinda, and now Minister for Internal Affairs.
Thank you. We have our technical team. Thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for coming. Thank you, Honorable colleagues, for coming. And Honorable colleagues, as you're aware, we've been on this matter of the digitalized number plates. And we got a petition from Kasita highlighting their concerns about the process. And among others, they were complaining about the cost of these number plates. They were complaining about lack of awareness. They were complaining for the stakeholders who are supposed to be involved. They were complaining about the credibility of the company. They were complaining about the unemployment that is likely to be caused by this. And the Speaker referred the matter to this committee. We have been interfacing with different stakeholders, and we realized that the Ministry of Internal Affairs is a critical player in this, because even the little that we were made to look at or inspect in terms of the system, in terms even of where they are housed, were taken at Uganda Police, which is under Ministry of Internal Affairs. So we thought it's very important to invite you, Honorable Minister, and your team to come and brief this committee, one, about your involvement, your role, two, the progress as far as you're concerned, three, any other matters therein that you know about this project. And I will now invite you, Honorable Minister, to address the committee on those three matters and any other matter that you would want this committee to know regarding the digitalized number plate and the joint stock company, Global Security. I welcome you, Honorable Minister, once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and honorable members. I don't want to pretend that I know much about this project. the first time I got to know about this project, other than from the press, was when Mr. Wavamuno wrote to me complaining about the shutdown of his business in favor of joint stock. And he was suggesting that they could work jointly. I called the permanent secretary, and the permanent secretary told me he didn't have anything. He didn't know anything about the project. So I wrote to the president, and I suggested to him that it would be a good idea if the Russian company worked with the current manufacturers of number plates in Uganda and explored the possibility of putting their chips on the number plates in Uganda. And I intimated to him that it would be a bit sensitive for us to shut down a local manufacturer in favor of importation of number plates when we can do it here. Or if there are any difficulties, we could see how to overcome them. I've never received a reply. I doubt whether the president ever saw that communication. Then the next time, I got a report from police officers who went to do due diligence about the company in Russia. They highlighted two things. That what they saw was a system for large fleet management. That's in the report. If you want, I can share the report with the committee. That this was a system for large fleet management, and that has never been rolled anywhere else in the world, and that Russia itself does not use that system. That when they inquired about where the number plates were being done, were being manufactured, they wanted to visit the factory, that they were told the factory was in Poland. And as far as I'm concerned, Poland is technically at war with Russia. Ipso facto, every Russian company operating within NATO is under sanctions. So I was wondering how we are going to implement this project in these circumstances. Unless otherwise, if those who are pushing the project can explain this, I have nothing more to add.
Thank you very much, General and Honorable Minister. Now, Honorable Minister, you see what confused us a bit is how they ended up at police. Actually, even the small office that we saw is within police headquarters, and the building, the room is next to our CCT system. So did they at any point, did they get authorization from the ministry? How did they end up at police? And then were taken to Chikandwa, which is also a police installation. So, and we're wondering, at what point does Ministry of Internal Affairs come in to be part of this system? But also, the implementation, almost every bit of it touches police. And police is entirely under your ambit as the Minister of Internal Affairs. So we're trying to reconcile how the two work together without the involvement of your ministry.
I also got a report from the police that Joint Stock brought computers and wanted to use them to test their capacity First of all, joint stock did not seek permission from Huawei, the service providers. Huawei is the service provider for the cameras. We have no information that they are working with Huawei and that the two systems are compatible. So I told the police, I said, you cannot tamper with this, because if Huawei was to vendor lock the cameras, the whole system will go down and there are legal consequences. So, and the ICT managers of the police tell me there would be complications if we were trying to integrate the two. And I'm not technical, I don't know what complications those would be, but that's what I've been advised by the police. They went to Chikandwa. I have not received any report from what happened in Chikandwa, but in short, the police says the two systems are incompatible. The police is insisting we should go for the third phase of the CCTV. It would play the same role as what these people are suggesting.
Chair, thank you very much. Notice that the minister is making candid but also serious revelations. Wouldn't it have been procedurally correct if he had come with the technical team, especially the PS? Wouldn't we rather postpone and he calls the PS so that we interact with both of them?
You see, we invited the Minister of Internal Affairs. That was the invitation. And the Minister of Internal Affairs, Honorable Otafiiire, Saverono, is here. He's here. So, and he's telling us what we are asking. He has not fallen short of any information as far as we are concerned. So we are proceeding well. If there are any issues that you want him to clarify on, please put them forward.
You see, Chair, when you invite a minister, you are inviting an office. You are not inviting an individual. When you invite a minister, you are inviting the PS, you are inviting the technical people, and what have you. So I agree with my fellow here that inviting a minister does not mean that you invited General Kahindo Otafiiire alone. Therefore, wouldn't it be procedurally right that we also go with what my fellow MP say, that at least we give General a break, that we give them another time.
Thank you. What do you want?
Mr. Chairman.
Wait. What do you want from the minister that you think can be delivered by the PS?
The minister has just said it himself that he's not a technical person.
What
there
do you
are some
want?
technicals of incompatibility of the items supplied by Huawei and what is available here and what is causing that incompatibility. Answer that.
Chair,
No,
in
wait.
addition, Chair.
No.
In addition,
Wait,
Chair.
let him pass.
I'm the one who raised this matter. He was supplementing to me.
Have you finished, Honorable Kayondo? Okay.
Chair, the minister has told you he doesn't know. So all revelation is making may be taken to be speculation. He has said, he wrote to the president, that global services has access to our system, our security system. And I would think that it would be the PS more qualified to tell us what is happening with our system, since the minister doesn't know. So why should we...
The system was disconnected. So the current, the proposed project apparatus is not on the system as yet. Because it's technically, there is a lot of engagement between the two companies.
I think, first of all, for guidance purposes, on your procedure matter, the head of the ministry, if there are any technical clarifications that we need, we can seek them still through his office. I don't think there is anything that the PS knows, apart from those technical connections you're talking about, and the minister doesn't know, because he chairs the top management of the ministry. So, to say that we send him, I'll tell you, we will not do that. Let's proceed. If there are clarifications that we want from him and the ministry.
Chairman, I want to agree with you. It's a normal process that let us allow the general to complete his submission, and then we will ask questions here. What he is unable to answer, he will say the PS will respond, or so and so will respond. But I think to cut him short like this will not help us. What is all important is that he talked of communicating with the PS, but this is a house of records. He has not that he wrote to the president. He has not given us that letter, a copy of the letter he wrote to the president. And then number 3, the report of the Directorate of ICT, he has not given us. Maybe that's all. Then we shall follow up with our questions.
Chair, since we started this term, this session, procedurally we have been getting documented information. We need this information formally so that it has a reference. So, Chair, I join my colleagues to say if the general is not ready, first of all, it does not work in isolation. Let us give him time so that he can come when he's ready with information which is permanent, information which is verbatim, is not permanent. It is temporary.
As you come in, honorable colleagues, I find the information given by the minister very inciting. Still, I would guide that in whatever document we want, the clerk takes note of it. We shall write to the minister and request for him to avail the committee with those documents.
This is the general, and is the full Minister of Internal Affairs. We are addressing ourselves to the Minister of Internal Affairs, who is in charge of everything, because the Minister of Internal Affairs is in charge of whatever goes on in the country. By the time the general goes on the microphone to say, he wrote to the president, he did this, and is unanswered. Because for us who have always said some things on the microphone, and the moment it goes unanswered, it's unanswered. Anybody who wants to contest it moves it from there. So even if the general has left behind all those other documents, whoever wants to prove or not to prove will find a way of getting them. But my position is, Chair, as the colleagues are suggesting, I don't concur with the colleagues saying we give Jen another day. Today, Chair, we must conclude the story of this report. Giving Jen another day, he will not be available. It's rare to even find the full cabinet minister coming. They normally send us these other people who refer to others. So having a general here today, Chair, we can't misuse it. We must conclude it. Secondly, Chair, the clerk, the police is in here. As we interact with the general, maybe the clerk could get in touch with a few officers from Internal Affairs in this process. In less than 5 minutes, as we have always done, you'll find others coming to join the general. That by the time we conclude, if there is anything to consult, we can consult them because they are near here. Internal Affairs is a stone throw away. So if the PS can come, if he's unable, if the commissioner can come, if the IGP or the assistant, you remember, General, when we were with the officer we were with, is called who? When we went to Nagulu.
Is the one in charge of that ICT?
That officer in charge. Chair Sewanyana, I want to be clear. Sewanyana was only fearful for his job, but he would equally tell us what the general is telling us. He was also not comfortable. Like any other police officer, General, Chair, we interacted with those officers. They were only worried of speaking, of telling the truth. When they are near the general here with the confidence of the general, they will tell us everything. They were only worried that maybe their jobs would go or something of the kind, but they were uncomfortable, they didn't know anything, they didn't want it. Now, since the general is here, to give them confidence, if we can get in touch with just a few of them, they will be here to support the general, because we realized nobody was comfortable with the whole system. General is only free because he's a general, he went in the bush, he can say anything, nobody can touch him. The other officers fear for their jobs. That's why you could hear them words not coming out properly. But their sentiments, they share the same sentiments that the general is telling us.
Thank you. The minister, he's here. And what we find, we want evidence in form of a written document. He will provide it to us. So we'll write to him formally today or tomorrow, and they will service us with those documents. Let's not misuse this time and opportunity, because we must also conclude this thing today. The rest must tender in documents that we need. So, honorable colleagues, I want us to agree. We move in that.
Me, I'm excited because since this matter came to the House, you know what has been going around. The other day, I went around those officers who were there. I asked them, do you know what they were telling me? Please, don't allow this. It's fake. Yeah, that's why Ben signed the 2 reports. You remember? Yes. The fact that we have had this journal here, it's a blessing to this committee. It will help us to bring a lot of transparency in this whole process. By the way, the petition from the Casita has done us really a blessing, because we had more or less gone through to pass this thing, which is non-existent. People are fidgeting around with this thing, and the general has been very frank indeed. Very frank. The brutal truth has come out today. I thank God for General. Be blessed for many years to come.
Thank you. But the general has some documents. Maybe he wants to. Now, honorable colleagues, let's agree that we have welcomed the general. He's here. Let's now raise issues that we want clarification on. Not thanking again. You can thank in one word, but go on the issue if there is.
Chair, and I want to thank the Honorable Minister. Indeed, Chair, I cannot fail to thank the Honorable Minister. That's a fact. You know, this country needs people who are truthful. If you want to build a strong Uganda, we need people who are truthful and who are really putting the country first. So thank you so much, General. General, indeed, I'm so shocked that Chair, that the Minister of Internal Affairs, they are the biggest stakeholders in this. They man security, police is under them, and these CCTV cameras within town and the cities are under police. Finding that the Russians, the other time someone asked, are hacking into your system. Because when we went to Naguru, they are using your cameras now. So the issue is, even the minister, the chair asked about it. How could these people end up in our police headquarters, use our gadgets without authorization of the ministry, you being in charge? And 2, due diligence. What I want to tell you, Chair, due diligence was not done in Russia. A group of people just went to Dubai. So we want to know, these people who went and did due diligence, who are they? Chair, I need us to interact with those people so that we know exactly who went to Russia. But the fact is that people did not go to Russia, because the way the minister is putting it, it's a new system. It's not anywhere, but people went to Dubai and made their own stories. So I want to ask the minister, do you have those names of people who really do due diligence? And if you don't know, Chair, we should interact with the Minister of Security again. They should bring those people who went to do due diligence in Russia, whereas they did not do it. They were just doing their own things. And on the issue of manufacture, I'm really so disturbed. We have Wava, who is manufacturing number plates. If they wanted, they would just be bringing their company on board and put the chips, closing our own. These companies, closing our own, bringing in these Russians. That was very, very unfair. And indeed, I'm happy that you wrote to the president about it. I think the president is going to maybe, if it needs so, we should even interact with the president if he got the letter. And what was it? Just at the end of the day, the president must come in. Lastly, about the question of monies. Really, Honorable Minister, as a person, do you think that moving from 150 to 700 border rider, even people with private number plates, really, is that one something that you support as a ministry? Isn't this one too much for us? People are poor. People are suffering. Borders, you are moving from 150 to 700. So, Honorable Minister, we needed your opinion on that. But lastly, Honorable Chair, we should put our feet on the ground as a committee. This thing must put stop on it until it's streamlined, until we see things clear. For now, I'm just seeing darkness. I want to thank you, Chair.
But now, just more guidance. The way it is, if we bring out many issues, we shall miss out. I would want the minister to respond to the issues so far. You're going to come in there. You're going to lose the information because he's not writing clearly. So, but I cannot force him. Let him respond. Let him respond. We shall get. We are not many. We shall get there. We shall get there.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. As for not writing, that's not your business. Honorable Richard brought the issue of the cost. I'm unhappy about the cost. But unfortunately, I'm not the one who determines the cost. I have heard about the cost in the press. Nobody has brought it to my attention to address. So my role in that aspect is limited. As for the manufacturing, like I've said before, I advised the president. I wrote to the president and suggested what you are saying. I highly doubt whether the president ever saw my letter. I suspect he has not seen the letter because the president I know would have written back or would have called me for a conversation. I'll bring it to his attention now that you've mentioned it. When I see him, I'll bring it to his attention and say there is this issue. Everything else is hearsay. Like you see it in the press, that's how I see it in the press. That's the limit of our engagement. That the Russians are hacking into our system is what the police reported to me. They said these fellows came with computers and they wanted to enter our system and there was resistance from the police. That's what the police told me in writing. If you want, I can share that with you.
Please, thank you. Honorable Minister, did you get to know so far what they have brought in terms of computers or any gadgets so far in the...
No, I know nothing more than the 2 computers the police reported.
They brought 2.
Just 2. They said they brought 2 computers.
Okay.
They not told me of anything more. If there is, maybe they brought it yesterday, but the police told me they brought 2 computers and they were given a room from which to operate.
Honorable Nsegumire,
You happy that we are having a cabinet minister. My question goes to Geno. Have you ever discussed this issue in cabinet? If so, what resolution did you come up with concerning this program and this project?
Mr. Segumire, what cabinet discussion is confidential, is privileged.
No, because you are saying...
No, listen.
Yes.
By law, I can't disclose what we discuss in cabinet. Here, sorry.
But now, cabinet...
If you want, you go to the
discuss-
president.
Geno.
The president is the only one who can disclose
Geno,
cabinet information.
No, Geno, I'm not asking you to tell me what all transpired in the cabinet. What I'm trying to know, to be on that, whether this issue of the security cameras and whatever was discussed, and what resolution did you have? Because after cabinet resolution, you discussed, you sent it to the...
No comment.
Chair, I'm on the floor. Chair,
So, Honorable, bring out your issues.
Me, I find the Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs, General Kahinda Otafiire, not being honest when he says his ministry was not involved. The question is, how did the Directorate of Internal Affairs under your ministry, the Directorate of ICT under your ministry, how did they go for the benchmarking? Who allowed them to go for benchmarking?
Permission was sought by officers from the police that they wanted to go and find out about this project. They sought for permission to go to Moscow, and I authorized them.
So you are aware?
Yes, the fact that they were going to find out, they could have been detectives.
Then secondly...
They could have been detectives. That's the difference from participation.
Then secondly...
I want, Mr. Chairman, I want you to know the difference between investigation and participation.
Then secondly, this global security company, who is behind this company?
I don't know. I've never seen them. I've never seen anybody from global what? Security. Global security.
Yeah.
Never. I've never seen them. I don't know how they look like. Never talked to any of them. I don't even know who is behind them.
Yes. And then finally, Mr. Chairman, the problem in our country, we have leaders who are never honest. From the beginning, there has been no honesty in this project of the number plates. My view, I think, is that we shall move at an appropriate time to halt the whole process of these number plates, because everyone seems to be, running away saying, I don't know, including General. Because by the time the ICT team leaves the country, they go for benchmarking, and then General comes here and says, I'm not aware, then there is a problem.
Thank you. You see, as a committee...
Mr. Chairman, it seems this honourable member of parliament seems to have a misunderstanding of what I've said. Maybe I'm not being clear. Officers of the police, I don't want to tell you which department, sought for permission to go to Moscow to find out about this project. They could have been crime intelligence, they could have been CID, they could have been others. I gave them permission, and they gave me a report. And it's the report that I've reproduced here. So as to what other aspects, the fine lines of the project, we are not aware.
Mr.
Thank you, Chair.
I also want to know from Geno whether, because it involves two ministries, Internal Affairs and Security, do you ever share information?
We share nothing.
Chair, thank you. Chair, I want to, first of all, thank the General for telling us that he has been here for the last 37 years. He's the most senior. General, I want to ask you, having heard what you have told us, whether you are still in charge of this ministry. If so, because I'm continuing, if you are in charge, surely, General, when you expose, when you surrender our command center, our systems to the Russians, to the people you don't know, because you are saying everything I don't know, don't you think you are putting this country at stake, the security of this country at stake?
Thank you very much for asking that question. I hope I told you that I told the police to disengage. I told you, nobody sought our permission, neither from me, nor my Minister of State, or the Permanent Secretary. They went to this place. When they reported, the police reported to us, we said, please disengage. You are going to have problems with the service provider. That's a legal matter. Forget about Parliament. That's a legal matter. Because they need express permission of the service provider.
Thank you, Chair. I can categorically say it that General Kahindo Otafiiire, I'm disappointed in you specifically. General, they put you in the Ministry of Internal Affairs. The General Kahindo Otafiiire I know. They put you in the Ministry of Internal Affairs.
What do you know about him?
General. He's a general. He's one of the compatible generals we have here. And he's one of the generals I've been respecting, by the way. Because in any ministry General has been going to, he has been having the ministry in his hands. General, you are put in the Ministry of Internal Affairs. And then such happens. They go into the system of your country, the security system. When General Kahindo Otafiiire is the minister, the one I've been knowing, because now I'm disappointed, General. When you don't know, the police officers appear here without your knowledge. We go to command center. They take us around without your knowledge. And General Kahindo Otafiiire is the Minister of Internal Affairs. One, do you think you are in charge of this ministry? Two, don't you think that is a vote of no confidence in you? If something can go around, you don't agree with it, and it is continuing in the ministry of commanding the General Kahindo Otafiiire I know. I'm extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you can reverse.
Have you ever heard of postmortem?
I don't know whether you can reverse my disappointment.
Have you ever heard of postmortem?
You asked, you put off your mask.
Events happen of which you are not aware. Events happen when you are not aware. And when you get aware, you stop them. Because I'm not God to dream that these fellows are going to do this. And that's why I'm in charge, to stop any wrongdoing. I can't dream about what people's intentions are. I want you to rethink about what I have always said. The motives of mankind are less transparent than the emotions they produce.
You can also help him to confirm that you're in charge and order his arrest.
Honorable Chairman, the honorable member is privileged and he's safe. Even if he repeated this outside the house, nobody would harm him.
Honorable Saba. Thank you, Chair. Chair, appointed by the General, as my colleague here is disappointed.
And incidentally, Mr. Chairman, if these things had not taken place, would we be here? If these things had not taken place, would we be here? I think we should be happy that some of these things have happened, so that it sheds light on some of these issues. I thank you.
Honorable Saba.
May I was saying that I am not disappointed by General's comments. Actually, the General's comments has opened our eyes widely and has enlarged our brains to think further. Honorable Chair, my concern is that as we are here handling this petition that was referred to this committee, we are aware also that the Parliament passed a resolution to this matter again. Now, what I want to inquire from the General and you, the Chair, how we can withdraw, because where we are heading, and the time I've sat on this committee, and the information that I've got from various sectors, we need to withdraw this motion from Parliament, and we'll debate it and then overhaul the whole thing and then come up with other resolutions that will help Ugandans on charges and the systems, and also leaving out the Russians so that we can get our local Ugandans to come and do this job for us so that we have peace in the country. Thank you, Honorable Chair. That's why I need your guidance.
Thank you. You see, we have an assignment before us. We have terms of reference, and we shall execute our assignment in line with our terms of reference. Beyond, over and above that, it can only be to the decision of the presiding officers or any other with that authority to do what they want to do. But for now, I request that we restrict ourselves to our terms of reference and accordingly do that. But also, for guidance purposes, let's refer to these guys as joint stock company, global, and leave Russians alone. That would be more decent, because I don't think they are representing any state interests. Let's refer to them as joint stock company, global security. We have had here people who claim to come from somewhere when they come elsewhere. So that we have not verified. Let's refer to them by their legal name. Honorable Morris.
Chair, my colleague was wondering whether we can withdraw the resolution Parliament took. I consulted and they said we can, but we have the legal team here. They will handle that one. But people should not be worried. Chair, whether we go where or where, whatever decision we took the other time, it's the same Parliament that must debate, and we shall rescind and withdraw the other decision and take a fresh one. Because this is a quicker thing. We can't continue like this. Chair, let me go to the point. You have told us to refer to these people as joint stock company global. We should not, limited, we should not refer them to as Russians. Chair, whether we refer them as joint what or joint what, they come from Russia, they are Russians. So, me, I'm Msoga, whether you refer me to as Chibali or what, I come from Busoga. So, there are things that you can't separate.
But your actions may not necessarily
reflect the behavior. But the chair, the presenter, deceived us that the thing is working in Russia, yet due diligence told us the thing is not working in Russia. That's why we are talking about Russia. If that gentleman had not talked about it, we will not be talking about it. But let me go to what you want,
But
Chair.
we restrict ourselves to
Let me
that.
go to your interest, Chair.
Because you know they talked about Kazakhstan and many countries. And we are not referring, Qatar, let's not, you know, the reason as why I'm insisting on the name is how it comes out does not reflect well when we keep generalizing. And I think let's take it in consideration, honorable colleagues.
Chair, when one of those guys is shot or dies, they will say a Russian died in Uganda. They will not say somebody from joint stock company. Let me go where let me go to the right thing. Okay, let me go to the issues, Chair. I need to join the colleagues in thanking the General. Mine will be sort of interactive, but what is more interesting, the General signed the contract for Huawei to come and install cameras, which was legal. Who signed the contract for the joint stock company to come and bring cameras? Because the gentleman told us he put up one camera on Makerere Road. One camera is already running.
They told us 3.
3. They have 3 cameras running.
And the general says 2 computers.
He saw 2 computers.
But they were 10 when we counted in the room.
In the room.
And one small server.
So, who is fooling who? Because if a company comes to install cameras inside this country called Uganda, the Minister of Internal Affairs must be part of the people to sign the contract. So who signed the contract? For those people you don't want me to call Russians, but to call the Joint Stock Company Limited. Who signed the contract? 2, the computers were 2. We entered the room, and the gentleman was seated on the computer, the mother computer, showing us. Is that gentleman from a company that the chair wants me to call, not to call the country? The gentleman was on the computer showing us many things. Here. He was controlling the system. And Mr. Sewanyana and all the police were disarmed. That is where the question came from. How do you allow these people that the chair wants us to call it the other name? How do you allow them to control our system? Minister, you are saying their system was disconnected. But they are the people who are running the system, showing us. So how was it disconnected when they are the people who were showing us the cameras? General, these same people, when we went to Chikandwa, your headquarters of ICT, they are there training our police officers. How do you surrender your police officers under the hands of those people who have not interacted to you? They have not been with you, they have not shared with you, you have not had any interaction, you have not discussed. How did those police officers undergo training when the Minister of Internal Affairs is not aware? Do you know what they are training them about?
Sometimes we authorize people with new technology to come and demonstrate. I will not authorize joint stock to work with the police. Maybe my predecessors did, but I don't have information about that. Maybe, because this thing started in 2019. Maybe my predecessors did. But my predecessors never brought it to my attention, and nobody has brought it to my attention. Occasionally, we allow, because we are in the process of acquiring new technology all the time, maybe somebody authorizes them to go and try to demonstrate. And secondly, somebody can run a system parallel to ours, not necessarily using our cameras, but using their cameras. Like you said, they have installed some cameras. There is this technology that connects cameras without using the police system. Because the police says we are not working with them. At Chikandwa, we say, you go and demonstrate capability. Show us what you intend to do. You know, that could be demonstration, because we allow quite a number of people to go and demonstrate and show the police that this thing works or doesn't work. Then the police writes a report. Then we think about it. It's not a one-man show. Because if a system, we have to introduce a system, the Minister of Internal Affairs and the police will have to discuss it, and then we take decision.
Thank you. Chair.
But as far as I'm concerned, Honorable Chimaria, we've done none of those.
Thank you, Chair. Chair,
if you think there is abuse of office, that's an internal matter. I'm going to find out. Thank you for informing me.
Thank you, Chair. I'm raising. Colleagues are going to come in. Chair, the minister told us his people that went for due diligence came and gave him information that the system is not working in that country, which you don't want me to mention.
That is okay, Honorable Chibaria.
Okay.
My concern is referring
to the
this.
system is not working in Russia. And they even gave him information. Police officers who are in charge of this country, that they didn't see a single number plate. Chair, a team was here and told us they have number plates. They even convinced us that the dummy number plates are in Chikandwa. We reached Chikandwa, we didn't see any dummy number plate. Chair, the police officers who went to Russia didn't see number plates. They were told that number plates are manufactured from Poland. It's the first time we are hearing a country called Poland. Previously, Chair, from all the interactions we have been having, nobody brought in anything called Poland. Holland or Poland?
Poland. Actually, mentioned Poland.
Minister, which of the two? Is it Holland or Poland? Poland. So, Chair, now look at the dishonesty of the team that was here, the team that we have met, and all the people who have interacted with, deceiving us that the number plates are in Russia. They are already there, they are being manufactured. Now, a full minister is given, his people gave him the full information that they didn't see a single number plate, The number plates are in Poland. They are manufactured from the other side. You get it? We are equally receiving information, Chair, that those people who went for due diligence, because I'm about to say something, who went for due diligence, Chair, it has been happening in Uganda, went to Dubai. They went to Dubai. It's another investigation, Chair, that we must carry out. They went to Dubai, they didn't go to Russia. Chair, as I end, I need to request one thing. Chair, we have to re-invite those people when our police is around and arrest some people here. Because it seems people are out to con this country. Are they MP? No, the agencies that we try. My minister, Commissioner Katushabe was here with the team. They said they have pirated some number plates on some vehicles. Honorable Minister, have you seen any vehicle with a pirated number plate?
Maybe he doesn't need to see
Commissioner
the
Katushabe is from Ministry of Works, and I don't control Ministry of Works. If they have been pirated, and the number plate is the responsibility of Ministry of Works. For us, ours is security. The piloting or not piloting, the manufacturing or not manufacturing, that's the docket of Ministry of Works. That's their responsibility. Our responsibility is security. Whatever they do or don't do,
my question was, Honorable Minister, have you ever seen any number plate pirated?
None that has been brought to my attention. So I've never seen any.
That's what I want. So, Chair, as I close, Chair, I request, because, Chair, the whole saga that we see here, there is a lot of dishonesty in this country, Chair, that we must not only stop at debating, but we must have some people arrested, Chair. We can't allow a country to be conned like this. We can't allow a country to be duped. We can't allow a country to be taken to this level. We have heard everything. We have seen everything. We can't continue like this, Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, just a small thing. Did the guys that the team that was in Russia for the due diligence, did they also cover the issues regarding the integrity and the existence of this company? As far as the report is concerned, did they ever bring out
nothing in the report? The highlights of the report was they didn't see that the system is not existent in Russia. They didn't see any manufacturing of the number plates, and that they were told the number plates were being manufactured in Poland. That's all they covered. They said there is no application of this system in Russia. There is no manufacturing we are able to see in Russia. If it is there, they didn't show it to us. Then they said the production was being done in Poland. That was the nexus of my concern. Because technically Poland is at war with Russia, and therefore any Russian company operating in Poland would be sanctioned.
Thank you. And you see that answer asked, when should we expect the number plates? And no one was sure. They told us they cannot commit as to when they would expect. Honorable Mzungu.
I thank the General. True to his character, he has been open and clear about what he knows about this saga. Let me call it a saga now. But I wanted him to be on record for a few more things before we can close this matter. First of all, he said that he knows this matter through the press. Much of what he knows is through the press. I wanted him to be on record that he has never seen the petition by Kasita, because Kasita cannot be equated to the press. Two, okay, let me finish my question, Mr. Chair. I can see members of here interference in my question. Oh, let me be clear. Is he aware that Kasita petitioned the Parliament as a minister of this government? Two, Chair, when we were at Naguru, one figure that became dominant is a man called Ilya, something like that. Ilya seems to know Ilya, something like that. a white man. I don't want to call him a Russian. He's a white man.
No, he's one of the members of Joint Stock Company.
Thank you. He was very dominant and seemed to have knowledge about ETMS. And yet this is a foreigner at our control center. He seemed to be more conversant than our officers. Is the minister telling us that our control center is controlled by foreigners? Lastly, Chair, I know the minister is trying to distance himself from this matter. I wanted him to be on record once again. Is he advising the committee to consider this matter as a red herring and we close the chapter? Thank you.
But I still want to guide. References like, don't augur well, because we have many partnerships with many foreigners, like we are foreigners in other countries doing work. I think the concern is the genuineness of whoever we are dealing with. So, friends, I think still I would guide that let's restrict ourselves to joint stock. Can call them strange.
No, Damzungu. As for aliens being in charge of the control center, that's not true. The information I have from the police is that they were given a room from which to operate. If I'm assigned a room in Parliament, it doesn't mean I'm in charge of Parliament. The control center is big, and a room that from which they are operating does not construe control of the control center. Secondly, me giving advice, honestly, you're asking for too much. How do I advise a committee? I want you to do your investigation diligently, without compromise, without influence, and I just want to be a witness. No more, no less. I just want to be a witness to tell you what I know. I want to say what I know and what I don't know. But I want the committee to reach its conclusion without my influence. My influence should be in terms of witness statement. Mr. Chairman, is that fair? That's fair. I don't want to influence you. I'm only saying, I'm saying the truth, the whole truth, nothing more than the truth.
Thank you, Honorable Remiriche. I think we should conclude on this and should write to the minister for onward forwarding to the committee.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chair. And the Honorable Minister for those responses. Now, Honorable Minister, our senior, I'm a bit disturbed by the fact that these people that you do not know, and you got a report from police that they wanted to hack into our system and you said disengage. What are they still doing at our police headquarters? What are they still doing with our... I'm coming, Honorable Minister, maybe you'll come and answer my questions. Because when you go to Naguru, Honorable Minister, maybe you get time, you go there. Maybe there is a case of indiscipline with some of police officers. If you say disengage, if personally you go to the police headquarters, you would clearly see those people are in charge of everything. Then my question is, if these are the people that we do not know well, their company, what are they still doing? When we went to Chikandwa, Honorable Minister...
They can't be in charge of everything. They can't be in charge of monitoring because they are supposed to operate digitized number plates. And as far as I'm concerned, there are no digitized number plates in service. So what are they in charge of? Except you want to say they are playing hooky with the police.
That's why I'm saying, Honorable Minister.
That one is internal to, I'll bring everybody to discipline.
This is what I wanted us to do. Because, Chair, when even we went to Chikandwa, when we met here at a car bond, there's that gentleman told us, I think it's Honorable Kibale that asked the question, even you, the man said he had seen the number plates. Remember? Then you asked him, which type of number plate did you see? The man confessed that he had seen. But when he went to Chikandwa, there was nothing. There was nothing at all. It means, Honorable Minister, this is not something that we can take lightly as a committee. It's something that, because even the people who went to do due diligence, chair, we should interact with them. What I can confirm, that did not even go to Russia. There's nothing in Russia. So what I want to ask the committee, for us to save this country, to save taxpayers' money, to save our government, we should never accept such a scheme, a project that is going on to really put this country down. I want to thank you.
There were more comments. Honorable Nathan.
You know, mine is on the overall, because we have just passed a budget where non-tax revenue, especially money from express penalties that normally come to the police force, that money is going to be to that particular company if it is to survive. Don't you feel that we shall be losing quite a good amount of non-tax revenue to a company that will not be contributing any material, or any assistance to the government? Won't we be affected, especially your police force, won't they be affected since they have been getting that non-tax revenue to their direction? I thank you.
Nathan, this whole thing is bedeviled by regularities like a fool's dance. I can't say yes, I can't say no, because I don't know much. I can't tell you yes or no, because I don't know much. I don't know what's going on.
There are two people itching, and I think they should be the last to itch on this matter. Honorable Boaru and Honorable URA is supposed to come in at noon, and they are here, I'm told. We also want to look at the component of the effect, because I'm told joint stock is supposed to take some percentage from the express penalties, almost 80% of express penalties. So, and the other areas that will affect revenue. So we'll share with them to see how it stands. So,
Mr. Chairman, in 1 minute, this committee was told that 100 number plates are on trial or on test, but the minister is telling us he's not aware. Number one. Number two, Chairman, I asked here that this global something company from Russia, how did it come here to Uganda? Who signed a contract with these people? The minister says he doesn't know. The other question is, the minister says that you have disengaged the police from any activity with those people, but they are still in charge of those cameras.
If they are still in charge, I'm going to punish the police, period.
Because it is not about punishing the police, because, no, the minister should also, it is not about punishing the police. The minister should be responsible, because you cannot come and tell the committee and the country you don't know.
Can I take responsibility for what I don't know?
Yeah.
Can you take responsibility for God's death?
And then finally,
even if you are a doctor, do you punish God for killing his person?
And then finally, you see, the minister, everything you say, I don't know. This you don't know. Number plates you don't know. The Russian company you don't know. The police you don't know. Your team going to either Russia or Dubai you don't know. So now, Minister, what do you know about this number plate project?
Nothing other than what I've told you.
Thank you, Honorable Chibaria. Your last take on this, and but at least the minister said for the benchmarking he knows. That he says he knows. So, Honorable Chibaria, your last take.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, my last take, but I wanted the minister to just see one of the questions that Jonathan asked. I wanted the minister to give us an answer. Minister, who signed the contract for these people?
I don't know whether Honorable Chibaria was in this room. I told you I don't know.
Okay.
I've never signed nothing.
Okay.
If I sign, I take responsibility. If I don't take responsibility.
Okay.
I don't know who signed. The thing, by the way, the thing started in 2019. Me, I'm just part of a cog in the whole machine. I don't know who did. I don't know who's doing what. you know. And what is disappointing is the police, who would have been the principal actor, was largely kept out.
Thank you. I think the minister has really exhausted.
Okay.
What?
So that was Jonah's question. I was just re-echoing. We wanted to have it.
So what is your
Chair,
question?
mine is, but we are happy, Chair, and we appreciate the coming of the minister, because the Chair, you realize, and it was your wise decision that we invite internal affairs, because this country is only run and managed by the system of internal affairs. Whatever the country is crying about is internal affairs. None of those people will take a responsibility. It's internal affairs. So it's good that we go there. Chair, my questions are two. One, is the minister aware that there are these, what are those tents? They were called what? Fitting centers. Minister, are you aware that this company is setting up fitting centers at various bonds in this country?
I'm not aware.
Okay, the minister is not aware, Chair. Two, minister, are you aware that this joint stock company that is coming is phasing out the local companies that have been manufacturing number plates?
I thought that had been stopped by the IGG.
The IGG has stopped them.
I thought the IGG had stopped them.
So the IGG stopped the joint stock, or the IGG stopped the other people that
The
are...
IGG is supposed to have halted the whole project. The whole project, the IGG instructed the Ministry of Works not to halt the production of number plates.
Do you have a document to that effect, Honourable Minister?
No, I don't have a document to that effect.
Where did you get it?
Information abounds in the press. Voilà.
Chair, now, General, if there is a haltage in regard to issuance of more new number plates, what will happen now in a circumstance now that we are dealing with a mafia, a non-existent company? What will happen to the new cars?
That's a question for Minister of Works and the Minister of Finance. Surely you are asking the wrong party, you are suing the wrong party.
So now, Finance Minister, if you don't know anything in that ministry, so what are you still doing in that ministry? Because if I were you, by now I would have resigned. Because you know nothing in the ministry and you are here, everything. If I were you, by now, I would have resigned by now.
The ministry's got very many departments. Police, prisons, immigration, legal. I can't know everything, every single detail. In every department.
If I were you,
that's what we call micromanagement. And I'm not a micromanager. I'm a macro manager. There are details I don't know in prisons. I don't know who was arrested in Cotino, for instance. I don't know who escaped from the prison in Bahanga. I don't know which person has slipped through the porous border, or which tests of drunkards that are being done at the girl, which I don't know. I'm a macro manager, not a micro manager.
Yeah.
So you don't expect me to know every detail that takes place in the department.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Because I'm minister, I'm not. That's why I'm not called commissioner. That's why I'm not called assistant secretary. I can't be archbishop and know what is happening in a village church.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Yeah, but 1 minute, we want...
Chair, thank you for giving me the chance, and my apologies for coming late. Chair, I'm just surprised. I'm just surprised by the responses given by the minister. Honourable Minister, I agree that you're a micromanager. But by the... Macro, yes, a macro manager. By the time you're invited by the committee to come and respond to issues related to the communication, you would have actually had a meeting to gather the information related to that. such that when you come here, you
Now,
have
honorable member, if you had listened
And
to what I said at the
and
beginning.
I even wonder why you
don't
came
go
alone.
very far. If you had heard what I said at the beginning, was that I got the letter, the information on Friday evening. Yesterday was cabinet. I did not have, and I didn't want to disobey the committee. I did not have enough time to call my people and consult. It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Minister, let her finish. You have.
Actually,
Let her finish.
He has
You are protected.
He has gone ahead to respond to my. He anticipated what I wanted to
So
to say.
you are
Because
covered.
I was almost asking him why he didn't organize other staff to come and respond to the.
That's what we started
the other
with.
questions. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. On the other issues that are not clear, and we shall ask for clarification on some of the documents that were referred to in your discussion. We want to thank you for your time, and have a good day. Thank you very much.
I am at your disposal. You may even call me back again with the whole department. I am willing to come and respect Parliament summons. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, you are want to look at the Honorable Yanyima, you can escort if that is his choice, Bianyima, you can sit. He wants the lady.
Chair, Henry Morris Tibalia. I represent Vugabula South constituency. That constituency is in Kamuli district, and that Kamuli district is in Busoga region, in the land of the Chavazinga. But the woman member is the Right Honorable Kadaga Rebecca Alitoala.
Why don't you also tell us your wife, because it's him, to introduce yourself? Thank you. That is our team. Commissioner General, you can now lead your team in introductions.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. My name is John Msinguzi. I'm the Commissioner General, Uganda Revenue Authority. I'll ask my colleagues to introduce.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable members, Robert Mutebi is my name. I'm the Commissioner for IT and Innovations at the URA.
Honorable Chair and honorable members, I'm Sarah Chelangat, Commissioner Domestic Tax, Uganda Revenue Authority.
Honorable Chair, honorable members, my name is Aber Kagumire, Commissioner Customs, Uganda Revenue Authority.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and honorable members. My name is Herbert Rusoke, Commissioner for Internal Audit at URA. Thank you.
Honorable Chair and members, my name is Stella Nyapendi Chombo, Acting Commissioner Legal Services and Border Affairs, URA.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Romlicha Ivan Gerard, Member of Parliament for Ntoroko County, Ntoroko District, and a member of the committee. Commissioner General, sir, you're welcome and your team.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I think everyone has introduced themselves, and we'll embark now on our issues. Commissioner General, we invited you with your team to share a few things about joint stock company global security and its progress on the operationalization of the digitalized number plate. When we started this process, our attention was drawn to this process by a petition from Casita, a few issues about the digitalization process and the joint stock company global security. One of the issues was lack of awareness by stakeholders. Two, it was about the cost of the number plates process and how you work or where you come in this process. Understand they are supposed to do some of the work you've been doing. Could be true or not true. You'll bring it out in your presentation, or members will request that for clarification at some point. So that's why we invited you and would want to request you to take us through what you know about this process, what your role is, and any other matter that you find or feel it's necessary for us to know in this regard. Thank you very much, Commissioner General and the team.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, for giving us this opportunity to share with you information on what our role is in this process. Honorable Chair, I've prepared a document which I believe every member has received a copy. But the summary of this document is to summarize the chronology of events and what our participation has been so far in the role of supporting the implementation of this intelligence transport monitoring system. First and foremost, Honorable Chair and members, as you know, the principal or cardinal role of Uganda Revenue Authority is to collect revenue, both tax revenue and non-tax revenue. And so, by the mere fact that the process of registering motor vehicles and motorcycles and the issuance of number plates attracts tax revenue and non-tax revenue, URA is a stakeholder in the activity of collecting revenue, not so much on the technology and the capacity of the implementing company for that technology. So, Honorable Chair and members, if you'll allow, I will go through this prepared brief on what our role has been. And as a way of background, Honorable Chair, the Government of Uganda, through the Office of the President, Ministry of Security, and also the Ministry of Works and Transport, government embarked on implementation and operationalization of the intelligence transport monitoring system. The system requires the issuance of new digital number plates to enable the tracking of vehicles and motorcycles as a means of combating crime facilitated by use of these vehicles and motorcycles. And in order to implement the new digital plates, the Ministry of Works and Transport issued a statutory instrument to enforce the use of the new digital number plates, and it was supposed to be effective 1st July 2023. And among other things, the regulations provided for key changes, among them the new series of registration number plates, meaning that all vehicles and motorcycles will have to be issued with a new series of number plates, meaning withdrawing the current ones and replacing them with the new series. Number two, installation of tracking devices in each vehicle or motorcycle. Payment of fees for the new digital plates, stickers for the foreign registered vehicles, replacement of current number plates with the new series, and also a centralized vehicle register for central government, UPDF, and UN vehicles. So following this, a number of events happened where URA was in the know or informed. One was the first one was the communication from the PS Ministry of Works in February, on 28th February 2023, asking URA to grant NITA-U access to the motor vehicle registration data in order to facilitate this integration and the implementation of the new intelligence transport monitoring system. There was another letter in March from the PS Ministry of Works requesting URA for a meeting so as to brief him on the status of the requested integration with the URA system. On the 31st of March, a meeting happened at the Ministry of Works. And in this meeting, we were requested by the Ministry of Works to allow the integration of the new motor vehicle registration system with our e-tax system, and to make sure that this is in place by 1st of July. And that URA should make necessary the adjustments on our side. We have two systems at URA. One is the ASCUDA system, which deals with importation of motor vehicles and motorcycles, the customs duties. And the other one is the e-tax system, which deals with domestic taxes. However, Honorable Chair, after thorough deliberation, we all realized that the time to do this integration was limited, considering that 1st July, as at the end of March, was only about 3 months away. And we thought that the Ministry of Works would require more time to design, test, and implement a new system which would replace the roles that our own tax systems have been doing without causing any revenue risks. So we agreed in this meeting that the URA systems will continue to support and implement the new digital registration and number plate issuance system until such a time when the Ministry of Works develops its own system which can take over. And we agreed that we will handle minimum changes on our side, which would enable the integration as they develop their system to be able to integrate with the tax system. And a joint technical team was set up to make sure that this integration is done. The technical working group included representatives from URA, Ministry of Works, NITA-U, the company, Joint Stock Global Security, and this team was tasked with making sure that the integration happens. Following that, a detailed document for the desired solution that would enable change in processes in our e-tax and ASCUDA system was developed. A workaround solution to support the implementation of the new digital number plate system was also developed, and as at 12th of April 2023, we also received another communication from the Office of the President requesting for the production system access for the integration to e-tax and NITA-U and UG Hub to facilitate the collection of non-tax revenue from traffic violations and fines, express penalties. On the 18th of April, we also received another letter clarifying that the non-tax revenue from traffic violations and fines will be collected through the new intelligence monitoring system and will be accounted for under the office of the President. On the 5th of May, URA submitted a document of user requirements for the desired solution and the necessary changes that would have to be done on our e-tax and SCUDA systems to implement this seamless integration. And all these documents, Honorable Chair and members, are attached to this document, so you can refer to them. Now, on the 18th of May, the Ministry of Works and Transport submitted to URA the approved user requirements for the desired solution to support the seamless implementation of the new digital number plate system. And on the 12th of June, the Office of the President wrote a letter to URA requesting for revenue sharing modalities, that is between the government of Uganda and the joint stock company, that is from the NTR that would be collected from the issuance of new number plates. On the 13th of June, there was another communication communicating the go-live date for the new system. And on 14th of June, URA wrote to the Office of the President providing a status of the support of the implementation of the new digital system, but also communicating the cost of making the changes on the e-tax system. There was also a communication on the workaround, a solution to support the implementation of the new digital system, and also we are seeking guidance on the revenue sharing because we are not privy to that discussion. So we wanted guidance from the Ministry of Finance on how the revenue sharing would be handled for it to be designed in the system. On the 27th, Honorable Chair and members, there was a meeting held at the office of the President where a review was done on the readiness to implement this system only 3 days away by the 1st of July. And it was established during this meeting that the new company was not ready to implement this system. Therefore, in this meeting, the chair guided that the rollout would be postponed and that URA will continue to operate and carry out this function of registration until 31st of October 2023, when another review would be done. So, Honorable Chair, in summary, that is the chronology of the communications and the exchanges we've had with the other government agencies and ministries on this new technology. The rest, Honorable Chair and members, are some annexes of the current fees, the new fees, and the applicable non-tax revenue fees that we collect for the information of members. Chair and members, I submit.
Thank you very much, Commissioner General. Honorable colleagues, we're going to start our engagement, but I wanted to request the Commissioner General to help us be specific on the revenue sharing modalities. I see breakdowns, impacts. There is where page 4, impact of the new digital number plates and the intelligence transport monitoring system, projected correction from the new motor vehicle registrations, and the figure is stated. It goes on table 2, projected revenue from replacement of number plates, private and parastatal vehicles, and the figure is stated on page 5. Then it goes, the estimates go, the figure is also stated on page 6 about the central and local government vehicles, and then the current motor vehicle registration fees. Now, I am requesting that you help us dive into the breakdown of revenue sharing modalities. You wrote, and I wanted you to bring the committee up to speed on these revenue sharing modalities. Then from there, I'll invite members to engage with you and your team.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and honorable members. Yeah, Honorable Chair, the first table talks about the numbers of motorcycles and motor vehicles that are imported in the country. On average, we receive about 14,000 motorcycles and about 3,800 motor vehicles. These are new registrations per month. Now, given the cost of the number plate, the digital number plate, at that rate, you'll be collecting about 12.8 billion per month from new registrations. Honorable Chair and members, table number 2.
How much of this would go to government, and how much of this would go to global security, joint stock global security?
Honorable Chair, I do not have that information. As we indicated in one of our writings, we wrote asking for clarification on what would be the revenue sharing, and we have not received any response.
Where would this money go after correction?
Now, that is the guidance we need, whether it would be shared between government and the technology provider, or all of it would go to the technology provider.
But even at the point of correction, you correct, for example, URA, currently when you correct,
yes,
where do you put this money?
Now, Honorable Chair, what we collect currently goes direct to the consolidated fund.
Now, who will be collecting this? Is it you or the service provider?
Honorable Chair, as the chronology came, if there is a new system that is ready to issue these number plates and collect the fees, it will be done by the Ministry of Works, because they handle this function and they are technology provider. But if we had gone by the proposed module, URA would collect and pass on, and that's why we wanted government to guide us. How much do we pass on to the technology provider? How much do we pass on to the consolidated fund? So it will depend whether the new digital number plate will work when they have a system that can collect, or if it will still depend on URA to collect and pass over, and then we'll be guided on the ratios.
Because, Commissioner General, yes, why I'm asking this, we are on a postponement. Otherwise, the project was supposed to have commenced. If it had commenced, what was, as URA, what was your expectation? Assuming for the meeting you went for and found these guys were not ready, if you had found they were ready, what would have been the situation? Where would this money be?
Chair, the answer to that would be the default place where we submit all the monies we collect, which is the consolidated fund, and then maybe government would pick from the consolidated fund and pay the technology provider. That is because up to that day we had not received the sharing ratios, we had not received the alternative account, So we would definitely have continued with the default of the consolidated.
So, if you had received the alternative account from Joint Stock Global Security, that would it mean that then this money would go to the alternative account? Because you're saying, by the time you went for this meeting, you had not received the alternative account. Assuming you had received the alternative account and they were ready to commence work, would that mean that this correction, the breakdown actually, I see here, this money, it would mean that the money would go on that alternative account, contrary to the current status where the money goes to the consolidated fund?
Yeah. Honorable Chair, hypothetically, once the approvals of government and we are given the account, yes, that can be done. There are other technology providers who are paid like that, but that had to follow the due process of government approvals. So it would not just be the account, but it would be the account with the approvals of government. And that's why we wrote to the Ministry of Finance to guide us on how this project would be handled.
And you did not get any response?
No, we have not received any response.
In all the meetings that you have attended, have you seen the contract, the agreement, or the MOU for that matter? That because that would give you the thresholds on how.
No, personally, Chair, I haven't. I was just consulting my colleagues if they had. But as mentioned, ours has been a peripheral role, not really the negotiation.
Because you see, Commissioner General,
this contract.
These figures are huge, and we are struggling as a country, even with the several cuttings that are happening. That's why we want to know, how does this improve? Does it improve your tax correction? Does it improve our tax base? Does it affect it? How much? Does it affect us positively or negatively? Because then that would guide us on the best way possible. And the sharing, because you see now I'm concerned. We were supposed to start, assuming we had started, 1st July. What would have happened? You talked about some money that is supposed to be accounted for by the presidency. Which money is that? Corrected by the company and accounted. There's somewhere in your presentation where you said that the money would be corrected and accounted for. Which money is that?
NTR.
Honorable Chair, this is non-tax revenue from violation, traffic violations, fines and penalties. Currently, we collect that.
How much is it annually, roughly, even if it's not?
Honorable Chair, let's get the figure for you shortly, sir.
1.8 billion per day.
1.8 billion per day. So?
No, per
month?
Per month, yeah.
Okay,
per
okay.
month, not per day.
It's okay. Now, so, under this new arrangement, as clarified by the presidency, the office of the president, this money would go on the account. Which account would it go to, by the way? Later on to be accounted for by this office.
All tax revenue go to the consolidated fund on a daily basis.
You got 2.6 of your presentation. I can help you read, but you have read it. And there is an attached letter marked Appendix 4. So, you have seen it? Yes, yes. Assuming, you see, we are lucky that they were not prepared. But if they were prepared and we started, so where would this money be going?
Chair, I think part of them not being prepared was the inability to answer these questions or provide the necessary approvals. Because as you see, Honorable Chair and members, this was a letter by the Secretary, the Permanent Secretary in the Office of the President, addressed to us, communicating that effectively non-tax revenue from traffic violations will go to the Office of the President and will be accounted there. But beyond this letter, there was no other approval. So we received this and acknowledged it, and we are not ready to implement it. That's why in our own letter, we wrote to the Ministry of Finance asking for guidance on how this would be handled. And I'm sure Ministry of Finance would have come to Parliament to get the necessary approvals or even get the disapprovals, and this would not go beyond this, because part of the lack of preparation was that they had not answered the several questions about the revenue sharing model, neither had they prepared a system that would take over this process without losing revenue.
Thank you. You know, the director, the Commissioner General is going through to explain. It's as if he's stepping on thorns, because every step leads to another bad step. Because I'm looking at the situation where money is collected and you're saying it goes to the Office of the President. I don't know whether in sacks or, then later on, the Office of the President accounts. Yet this money has been contributing to our national revenue. But it's also important that we want to find out, after these corrections, you've given us a breakdown on how it would improve the corrections, but how much would you take? How much would the global joint stock global security company take? And I think there are three partners in this. Have you had anything to say that global security would take 85% of these corrections anywhere in your meetings? Nothing. Yes, you tell us.
Chair, we wrote to ask for that clarification. We've never received any feedback.
Okay, colleagues, come in. No.
Chair, with the pain, we have the Commissioner General, who was appointed to collect revenue to help this country. Chair, the Commissioner General enters a process and supports a process that is taking away money when he knows very well that his role is to collect money and help this country. But he himself has presented and said he has been supporting this system because he received a letter to support these people to make their system operate. And he has been writing correspondences, supporting, and he was very ready and is still ready to support a system that is taking away money that is supposed to collect. I wonder whether, Chair, the Commissioner General will still have a job to us as Ugandans, or he will still be fit to remain a Commissioner General. One, Chair, who wrote these figures? Because the Commissioner General, it seems as if it's his team that he wrote these figures. Is it you or some other person? These figures that are here, who wrote them? Is you, Commissioner General, or some other person?
I think these are reflections of what happens.
So, because
given what is imported, what is sold, what...
Chair, why I'm asking, the Commissioner General doesn't know where the money will go, and he doesn't know his share. So he was writing these figures for who? To help the other people that are taking money in the form of sacks to the office of the President. Two, Chair, the team from URA, you sit in a meeting and people tell you that the non-tax revenue, money from violation of traffic offences and so on, will go to another office. It will not come to your office. and you also sit comfortable and you take a tea and you wait and you go back at the other side and you leave them to remain with the money. 3, they continue writing to you letters and say support these people, and you also continue supporting them in whichever formula they want to be supported, when the money you know very well that you are supposed to collect is going the other side. Lastly, Chair, how do you begin writing and making correspondences to the last date of the implementation, and the best you can say is that maybe people are not ready, we extend so that Ministry of Works can be ready, when you don't know how much you are going to take from that whole deal, because whoever is in this deal knows his percentage. Those who are saying they are taking 85 because the chair has intimated something which the Commissioner General has not heard. Commissioner General, we are telling you, this company is supposed to take 85% of the revenue collection. I'm sure your people are saying they have not heard, but they have heard. Because if for us who have not been in meetings are aware, then what of those who have been in meetings? They are taking 85% of this collection. But your people are not aware. But now the implementation is a month from now, and they are going to implement. But you have not received even the account on which this money is supposed to go, because the money is going on an account which you have no control. So will you remain a Commissioner General really?
Thank you, Chibadia. Now, why I'm a bit hesitant even to crucify the Commissioner General is that he could be as lost as we are, because in this letter, he's asking the ministry. Yeah, I think it is. There's a letter here where he's asking the ministry to give the modalities of sharing, and there is no response. Yes. So I'm wondering, maybe only that I've seen that the Commissioner General is also at pains explaining directly these things. Unlike General Kahindo Otafiiire, who was hitting on top, the Commissioner General is being very diplomatic. But you may need to explain to members how we reach here. Honorable Byanyima.
Chair, first allow. It hurts this country really. And I sympathize with the whole team that has come before us. But I hope you will get a ray of comfort that we are behind you people who collect the money, that services the debt, and all of us will be the beneficiaries. To begin with, Mr. Chair, we put a row where Uganda Road Fund, the money would be collected, the user fees by URA, but it would go to consolidated fund, but every month, at the end of the month, it would go to Uganda Road Fund. You know how that one failed. That for road maintenance. It failed completely. But URA never refused it, but the government refused it. In this particular case, when you ask this table number 1, of course, these are the number of vehicles you register and motor every month. That money will not be in the government coffers. You can see these are public servants. URA is under Minister of Finance. And Minister of Finance with the President's Office and Minister of Works. And I'm happy you don't hear any minister like him, Minister of Internal Affairs. So Kahindo Otafiiire was even right. There is nowhere where they are mentioning him. So we are all at pains to see that we have made a budget catering for, of course, including this non-tax revenue that comes. Quite a good amount of money. You can imagine you have been getting 150, the money for the plate numbers. But now somebody comes with a plan, even to get 700, which we have never got from anybody. So it's unfortunate that the Commissioner General is thrown into, you are a civil servant, what do? This man has to listen and do as per, because the whole thing is fake. We all know it. We all know it is fake. It's fake. It is for personal interest of some people, and these commissioners and heads of department, they have no way of refusing anything. It is imposed on them. They are at pains even to tell us that at the end of the day, while we have been expecting to get 29 trillion, we shall get possibly 25. Because these express penalties when you bring in a private person, he will be really strict to ensure that money is secured. But currently, the money is not forthcoming because some people evade this tax. So, Mr. Chairman, the long and short of it, this is a fake deal that wants to deprive Ugandans taxpayers' money. And what do we do? Let's help these people, the Commissioner General and his team, to continue doing a good job by not denying them this money. I don't know. We all appreciate what you have been doing. I was the billion from your aid, but now we are talking of trillions because of the transparency.
Thank you, Honorable.
To a private person.
Okay.
Who does not render any service to this government.
So for it's like we are being treated to a film, but we are interested in watching more scenes. And I come from a background of finance, Mr. Chairman. For me, when I see this, I sympathize with the Commissioner General. So I wanted to pose only one question to the Commissioner Audit. Correct? Commissioner Msoke. Commissioner Msoke. You can see that there is no integrity in the whole process. And this is a huge procurement that is going to affect this country today and tomorrow. Now, you as a commissioner in internal audit, do you think this project is fit for the purpose? Do you think you, a commissioner, you are fit for the purpose? Why don't you disassociate yourself and say, no, sir, Commissioner, this is not what I went through in the class, and I cannot stand it. We have seen people resign before. What has happened in this country? Thank you.
Agenda from Honorable Chivalia's submission in regard to the core values of URA. Chair, I have taken trouble to read the core values of URA as integrity, patriotism, and professionalism. And among the three core values, I'm not having had and having seen all the dubious dealings in this project. I have not seen any demonstration of any core value. And it is in that regard, Chair, that I would like to ask the Commissioner General, in his wisdom, whether he himself, the way he's seeing things, the event of things turning up and down, do you see any of the values being demonstrated? That's the first question. Chair, the second concern originates from the submission by the general who was here this morning in regard to the heritage, because he did mention that IGG halted the issuance of the ordinary number plates in a guise that now we are going to implement the digitalized ones. The opposite, okay, for that matter. Is that true? Could you tell this committee the status quo in that regard? I thank you.
Thank you. I dated 14th June 2023 by the Commissioner General to the Secretary, Office of the President. And if you look at they give the background to it, and considering the short time left to 1st July 2023, the Ministry of Works and Transport needs ample time to design, test, and implement a new motor vehicle registration system without rushing to avoid possible revenue leakages. 2, in the meantime, URI system shall continue to support the motor vehicle registration until the Ministry of Works and Transport new motor vehicle registration system is ready. 3, the team have come up with the proposed requirements which were signed off May 22nd, 2023 for enhancing the URI system. The URI system vendor provided a cost of changes as per the requirements and the delivery plan, then they break it down. They also state that we expect the cost of changes above to be met by Ministry of Works Transport, and once they confirm, the e-tax vendor shall start the system enrollment. This being a new item, it was not budgeted for in the URA work plan. To me, they seem to have rejected, but indirectly. What they are doing here, to diplomatically not telling us that the thing is fake and they also had pains. That's why I was appealing to the Commissioner General. Now that he has sat in the same chair that Otafiiire was sitting in, to borrow the same spirit and help the committee. Because I also wanted to ask, have you done the assessment to know how much money you are likely to lose before you share? If it goes as it is now, how much you are likely to lose in this to the vendor, to this joint stock, assuming they collect this money like the letters indicate and it goes to the office of the president. Have you done any assessments to know how much you are likely to lose in terms of your collections? Honorable.
Chair, I also want to just to add on that. URI has been collecting revenue on number plate registration the traditional way. Now with this new system, I also want to know how the new system is going to affect the usual amount of money that you've been collecting from the number plate, from the traditional number plate registration. And then I also want to ask you how far, what steps, because you in your presentation, it seems like you only participated in a meeting. The last meeting you participated in was held on the 27th June, where a postponement on the implementation was agreed. Now, from that time to date, what is going on in terms of ensuring that the system processes to ensure that the system is fitted into URA is going on, is done. What steps are going on? And then the other one is about the private vehicles that are not updated in the e-tax system. I just want to understand what you mean, because I know that URA is a custodian of the logbooks. How does it come that you don't have these 700,000 vehicles in your system, such that you're not able to account for them? Thank you.
The revenue sharing was signed. That one, the document you have where this joint stock company is taking 80%. It was signed on 15th June, after your letter of 14th June. Meaning there is some information that is not provided here, but later you went and met Mr. Kakande and discussed and agreed. That informs them to agree the following day and sign off and give the modalities. Because there is a request here for modalities, responded to, then he signed a date after the discussion. So we need the Commissioner General to really tell us what they agreed and how that came up.
Honorable Chwad, where is the 15th?
The letter you have on the last paragraph, 14th, it says the teams the one from Kakando
from the Commissioner General.
About the modalities for revenue sharing with the joint stock company, global security something, URA needs guidance on the sharing ratios and the parties involved. This is for onward submission to the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for the necessary approvals. Chair, the letter you have, the revenue sharing letter, you have just received it from our staff. Not
This is the financial model.
Exactly, that
Which
finance model.
It's not dated.
It has a date, Chair.
Where?
Of 15th.
Where is the date?
We shall,
which page?
We shall check the date, Chair.
Okay.
We shall check the date. But it has the date. So, Chair, after the Commissioner General responding, in fact, I have not seen this last paragraph very well. By Commissioner General, this paragraph now exonerates you. This one now exonerates you. So this paragraph now tells those people that there is need to discuss. Who informed them to come up with that model now, that this joint stock will take 80% and the government will take 15? Commissioner General, who informed?
Okay.
My last part is the Chair. Commissioner General, are you aware, do you have any information that the bonds, because you see, Chair, in my villages now, URA is there, collecting revenue from every shop. Commissioner General, are you aware that this joint stock company has installed installation centers at the bonds in this Kampala? Are you aware, and have you aligned your team to monitor that?
Thank you very much. And I think it's a lot of questions and concerns, and I'll request the Commissioner General to come in, and immediately he winds up on those concerns. We shall close the meeting, because then we're supposed to go in for plenary. Thank you, and I'll invite the Commissioner General now.
Chair, and thank you, honorable members, for those questions and comments and compliments. Now, Honorable Chair, let me start by referring to the function of URA. As you all know, honorable members, because you're the ones who passed this law that established Uganda Revenue Authority, our work is to administer and give effect to the laws and specified provisions of the law as set out in the first schedule of this Act, and for the purpose to assess, collect, account for all revenue to which the laws apply. But number B is to advise the Minister on revenue implications, tax administration, and aspects of policy changes relating to all tax referred to in the same schedule. And lastly, it is perform any other functions on revenue as the Minister may direct. Now, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, starting from that point, I want to state it clearly that a number of MDAs come up with different levies, fees, revenues, and the process of coming up with these, we are not essentially involved. We only come in to enable the assessment and collection of these revenues.
Honorable colleagues,
Now,
let's listen to.
Honorable Chair, I would like to state very categorically that URA has not been privy or part of any revenue sharing model. And I'm happy the Honorable Member has acknowledged, Honorable Chibaria, that indeed our letter confirms that. We have not been privy to this discussion, and when we were advised to implement, that's when we wrote to the Honorable Permanent Secretary, who wrote to us saying, please advise us, and whatever advice you give us, we'll submit it to the Ministry of Finance for approval. So there is not going to be a day when URA collects and disperses information without the necessary approvals. And that's why, Honorable Chair, I said, part of the unreadiness why this system could not take off was that they had not answered these key questions. And there is no member of URA that has attended any revenue sharing discussion or model. If they have, really, someone should bring that evidence. But as far as I know, no one has attended. Now, because we have a function to collect revenue for NMDA and pass it on, when this project was adopted, definitely it was going to collect some fees. You see, at the moment, we use number plates, the non-automated number plates. The providers for these number plates charge a fee, and that fee is paid. So the only difference is that the number plate that was coming was digital, it had a cost, and that process was being discussed at the level of government where we are not involved. So when it came to us, we said, can we have the necessary documents to show us how this revenue will be shared? In other words, splitting the payments as the taxpayer pays between the vendor and government would not be something out of the normal. No, we are doing that for a number of revenues that we collect. What would be out of the normal would be if this came from the private permanent secretary without the approval of the Ministry of Finance. And this is what we refer to, Honorable Chair. So, Honorable Chair, if I can now answer other questions. Honorable Mzungu asked if there was any integrity in this process. Honestly, I don't think I'm qualified to comment about this. Because this process, we've not been part of it. What we received was instructions to integrate our system for revenue sharing, and that's what we said, please give us the information, and that has not happened. So the core values of patriotism, integrity, and professionalism, we uphold them, we stand by them, and I don't think we have been at fault in this matter. The information that IGG has halted issuance of ordinary number plates, I'm not aware of this. As far as I know, to date, we are issuing the ordinary number plates. So no one has instructed us to stop. So, Honorable Chair, what has been happening since 27th of June, really I'm not privy to this. I attended the meeting under the Minister for Security. It became clear that the vendor was not ready, and a decision was taken that URA continue to collect until the vendor is ready. So I don't know the readiness of the vendor, and of course once they are ready I would receive any communication, but I haven't. The 700 vehicles that are not validated, the validation exercise was to change from the old logbook system to the new electronic logbooks. And this is mainly driven by the motor vehicle owners. We put out public notices, we've been calling them to validate, because if you want to sell a vehicle today, you cannot sell one with an old logbook. So need brings them to us, but also sometimes we do some enforcement actions by seeing who has not validated their logbook. So there is about 700 vehicles in our system which still have old logbooks, not the e-logbooks, and that is the validation exercise that we are referring to here. So, Honorable Chair, the question on the contract for global, personally I have not seen it, and I don't think anyone in the URA teams has seen it. We don't know what is there. Maybe the other MDAs of government who have been dealing with them can answer these questions. Has the rollout been implemented? Honorable Chair, our straight answer to this question is no. We have not rolled out any digital number plate. URA, responding to, I think I answered that already. It was only polite that we respond, and our response was clear. So, Honorable Chair, in conclusion, the sharing ratios of 85-15, honestly speaking, I'm hearing them here for the first time, and URA has never participated in this discussion. So, Honorable Chair and members, I want to appreciate the compliments and the advice given by the honorable members. We want to assure you we are committed to this mission of mobilizing government revenue efficiently. There is no incentive on our side to give away this revenue because we have high targets which we are working to achieve. So we could not be part of saying let it be given out to other entities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
I slipped from getting the response of the Commissioner. Commissioner, we're trying to ask whether, since we've been given the picture of the total revenue of from this digitalized system, we're trying to ask whether it will cause a loss or a profit to the ordinary, the usual collection that we've been collecting from this vehicle registration. I think that is it's good.
Yeah, assessment, but it could also be an opportunity assessment to the effect that does it improve, because then you must be building scenarios as an institution. Does this come as an opportunity to increase the revenue collection, or you see it can cause a loss? And what are the projections either way?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and members. First of all, this technology, I think, essentially is meant to address security concerns. It's not part of the register expansion programs. In other words, it is cars that have already been registered which will be given new number plates. So it can only add to the revenue if part of the fees charged, the government takes a share. If it doesn't and it goes to the technology vendor, then of course there will be no revenue increment coming out of this project. Chair, of course, the other logical thing is that once the cost is prohibitive, maybe a number of vehicles will not, or vehicle owners may not afford. So I think it is important that the negotiators go for the most optimal, because there is a benefit they want to achieve, but then there is also a cost that will be draining money from the taxpayers, which could be spent on other areas other than this technology. I think, in my opinion, charging 714,000 from a border, probably the registration and clearance of borders will significantly reduce. But I don't have specific numbers.
Now, we are going to telepass. We have given, the financial model is here, it gives a breakdown of the sharing. You have your projections. We shall request from you an analysis of how this will improve revenue or affect it. Because we have the financial model, you have your projections as you presented them. If we go by this sharing, what would it mean to your revenue collections? If, I mean, either positively or negatively, I think, but we'll write to you officially on the exact analysis that we want you to make, because we have everything. We have the figures from you, we have the sharing.